women are not tired because they are weak. They're tired because they're carrying too much emotionally. Number one, emotional labor nobody sees. They carry so much of emotional labor that nobody ever sees. Now, I'm talking about remembering everything, literally everything. The birth date, the baptism date, appointments, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, play dates, friends, literally remembering everything, every detail, every date, every occasion, and so on and so forth. Thinking ahead of, they are thinking ahead for everyone. Thinking ahead for everyone. Everybody is just there, but the woman always is always thinking ahead and seeing the future ahead of everyone. Managing emotions of partners, children, the family, and everybody at large. You are here managing when a toddler breaks down, when a baby cries, when the partner needs emotional support, when the partner needs any sort of comfort, when the family needs some comfort, when the family needs someone to talk to, you're just managing everybody's emotions. Everybody, everybody in the family, including the extended family, the children. Oh my goodness. And also, women, we are being the emotional container. You are just a container where every emotion from left, right, center, from everybody is just dumped in. You are dumped in every sort of emotions. When a child is not in the good moods, well, you have to be there. When the partner is not right, you have to be there. When this is not okay, you have to be. Like, you're just the only deposit for emotions in the family or in the relationship. Now, women don't rest mentally. Even when they sit down, they don't rest. Women literally rest mentally. And this goes further even when we are just resting, or we are just sitting down and having a cup of coffee or a chit chat with a friend and so on. Women don't rest mentally even when they sit down. Now, the other point, always being the strong one. Women are always they are always being the strong ones. They have to be the strong ones. There's no choice. They don't have any choice. You are being expected to cope. You have to cope with the relationship. You have to cope with the marriage. You have to cope with the children. You have to cope with the family. You have to cope with the in-laws. You have to cope with the exes. Oh my goodness. You have to cope with everybody. You know, you are also being the problem solver. Everybody is expecting you to solve the problem. The partner expects you to solve their problem. The children expect you to solve their problem. The teacher expects you to solve the kids' problem. The doctor expects you to solve the children's issue. Oh, Jesus, Lord. You know, you have, or you are always expected, or you have to be the person who solves some the the people in the family their problem. Also, never being asked, are you okay? You know, nobody asks you. You're not asked by anybody if you are okay. You're just expected to function. Everybody expects you to deliver. Everybody expects you to be mentally stable, mentally fit. You know, Mm. You have, you know, there's also the strength becoming a prison. You just have you have some sort of strength, but you are like a prison. You are somehow imprisoned, or you are just imprisoned. So you have the strength. You must have that strength to become imprisoned, you know. Strength stops being a compliment when it becomes an expectation. Strength is no longer a compliment when everybody else expects you to function. Everybody else expects you to deliver. Everybody else in the family expects you to be the problem solver. You know? Now, the other point is silence instead of support. You know, women quietly suffer. You know, women are suffering quietly. You know, not wanting to burden others as well. No women don't want to be a burden to others. They don't want to burden others, you know. And then being praised for endurance instead of helped. You're just being praised because you did endure some kind of, you endured something. But instead, you are supposed to get help, not to be praised, you know. Sometimes you need support. You need an ear to listen to you. You need a shoulder to lean on. And as a woman, people will think you are always strong, 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 strong. And of course, nobody is coming there to ask you, are you okay? They will just come here and say, oh my God, you are so strong. You are so strong. Instead, they were supposed to help you. They are supposed to give you help to at least remove some load. But no, you are a woman. Mm. So, women are praised for surviving, not supported to rest. Women are praised for surviving, not supported to rest. They are not supported to rest. They are just praised for their survival. The survival model. You know, you have to survive. You have to survive. And they are not supported to rest. They just have to work, work, you know. Now, the other point is motherhood and emotional drain. Motherhood is not easy. Motherhood is tough. Now, you have mental load. You have so much that you carry in your head, in your brain, in your, you have everything here. It's a lot. It's exhausting. You also have the guilt. Are you doing the right thing? Are you delivering the best? Are you giving the best? Are your kids getting the best of the best? You also don't want to be a bad mother, so you have the guilt kills you sometimes. you know Again, never switching off. You don't have you are somehow not in a position to switch off because of everything that is there, because everybody is expecting you to deliver, to be there for them, to think for them, to you are just surviving. So you never even have a chance to switch off. You never even have a chance to go and hook with your friends, or to go and do some other things that can make you happy, or do your hobbies. You are never switching off. So, loving deeply but being depleted. You are loving deeply. Deep down, the love that you have is immense. But on the other hand, you just get depleted. Mm. Everybody is, as a mother, you just have the natural love in you. But instead, you just get depleted, you know. Now, love doesn't cancel exhaustion. It doesn't. You are still a human being. You are exhausted. You are tired. You need to switch off. You need to do something else, but you can't. And that's what I'm saying. Love doesn't cancel exhaustion. So, if you feel exhausted and don't know why you're not broken, you're carrying more than people acknowledge. Now, if this resonates, tell me, okay? If you feel exhausted and don't know why, you're not broken. You're carrying more than people acknowledge. So, if this resonates with you, please let me know.